Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, June 21st, 2013. It's the first day of summer in the Northern Hemisphere, the longest day of the year. Meanwhile, in the Southern Hemisphere, it's the first day of winter. And in fact, Wellington, New Zealand is hit by a surprisingly strong winter storm, dumping about 7 or 8 inches of snow on the city, and is being hit by winds recorded as high as 81 miles per hour. So it's interesting to keep in mind the diversity of global weather. Meanwhile, some people who probably are getting sick of certain aspects of global weather are residents of Western Canada and Alberta in particular. As many as 100,000 people could be evacuated by the Canadian government from their homes due to heavy flooding. This is specifically in the city of Calgary. Mudslides have caused the closure of the Trans-Canada Highway, which is the main east-west connecting route for the whole country. The mountain resort towns of Banff and Canmore have been completely cut off. Torrential rains and widespread flooding throughout southern Alberta yesterday washed out roads and bridges and left at least 2 people missing. Communities were hit hard just south of Calgary, a city of more than 1 million people that hosted the 1988 Winter Olympics. Meanwhile, in Brazil, the biggest rallies yet have occurred. Yesterday, approximately 1 million people protested in several cities against the quality of public services and the high cost that the government is going to bear in staging the World Cup. The mounting pressure caused the president, Dilma Rousseff, to cancel a planned trip to Japan that was scheduled for next week. Media reports that 1.2 million people took part in rallies across the country. Police fired tear gas in Rio de Janeiro, the scene of the biggest protest, where 300,000 people demonstrated near City Hall. Local radio and TV is speculating that the Confederation Cup, an 8-team soccer tournament considered a dry run for next year's World Cup, may be in danger. If so, the organizers, the FIFA World Cup group, will claim compensation from Brazil if the Confederation Cup has to be postponed. Meanwhile, insurers and Lloyds are scratching their heads. They're saying that there's a study that came out from the Human Cost of Maritime Policy group, a subgroup of the Oceans Beyond Piracy, saying that the total cost of all piracy-related premiums in the West African area in the Gulf of Guinea is approximately $423 million to $437 million. The insurance market, specifically a senior executive at the Lloyd's Market Association, said this is a very, very high estimate. In fact, one component of this, war risk premium only, on a global basis, including 20 hotspot areas, comes in at only about $230 million. So it's highly unlikely that this is the total figure. The big tornado in Oklahoma City has begun to hit the books. Insurers have already paid $562 million in claims stemming from severe storms and tornadoes that wreaked havoc across Oklahoma in May. 70,000 claims have been made already. This is according to the Oklahoma Insurance Department. Allstate is reporting that $323 million in claims were paid out in May. The estimate is comprised of 7 events in May worth about $312 million, plus unfavorable reserve releases. Allstate said that 90% of the $312 million in May losses came from just 3 events, although the company did not disclose which events these were. However, you can take it to the bank that one of them was the Moore, Oklahoma tornado, which flattened that area. Joseph Taranto will stay on as chairman of Everest Re after he steps down as CEO at the end of the year. He's agreed to keep the chairman post until the end of 2016. The Federal Aviation Administration is investigating a near miss over Long Island between a Delta Airlines 747 that was inbound to JFK Airport and a Shuttle America Embraer 170, which had departed from LaGuardia Airport. This was in the afternoon of June 13th. The aircraft were separated by 0.4 of a mile horizontally and only about 200 feet vertically. That's pretty darn close. Shell Nigeria says an explosion and fire caused by oil theft has caused it to shut down its Trans-Niger pipeline that moves about 150,000 barrels of crude oil a day. Thursday's statement said the theft of oil, known as bunkering, caused the conflagration at Bodo West in Ogoniland. The area in southern Nigeria has suffered decades of oil spills. Environmental activists accuse Shell of using oil theft as an excuse to cover up accidental spills. The company has to compensate local communities for spills not caused by theft. Amnesty International said sabotage is a problem in Nigeria, but Shell exaggerates this issue to avoid criticism for its failure to prevent oil spills. Meanwhile, in Quebec, Canada, yesterday, about an hour away from Montreal, in the town of Coteau-du-Lac, in the southwestern area, a explosion occurred at, of all places, a fireworks plant. Killed 2 people. Thick black smoke emerged from the roof of one of the factory's 2 buildings. Across the parking lot from the fireworks factory, a store that sells fireworks and souvenirs remained unscathed. Last night in Miami, the Miami Heat won the deciding 7th game of the National Basketball Association Finals. And you have to give credit where it's due. They defeated the San Antonio Spurs. It's the end of basketball now. The first day of summer is the next day. That's the news for today. Have a pleasant weekend. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you Monday.